Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 174. Tonight, we have Lifting with Larry subbing in because Jesper is in the sunny state of Florida.
Sunny state of Florida.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I can't say it's too cold here, actually. It's been pretty mild.
Yeah. I just realized that this is a long song. I didn't put a fade in and out on it. So it's going to be really abrupt. There we go.
Boom. Boom.
I was like,
rip it off like a Band-Aid.
Like the other one's pre-programmed and I like already edited it to slowly fade out. And I was just realizing as I was playing it. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Larry's here tonight. Like I said, Leo, I just read Leo's name. Hi, Leo.
Hey, Leo.
Jesper is on vacation. You see we have our Santa hats on. We'll see how long this lasts. I can already feel a little extra warm under these lights. And Gary's down in Florida. Janet says we're gorgeous. Damn, Janet. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, this is the last episode for 2023. And so I'm so glad that I get to end the year with Larry, who is like my friend and a supporter of the show, and it really means a lot that you came on.
I appreciate it. Always happy to. It's always I get very excited anytime y'all ask me to.
Yeah,
my wife asks me every day. She's like, "You're excited about the podcast?" Because she knows how excited I get when I come down from doing the podcast. She always like, "You're energized. You're so energized when you come out of doing a podcast." So yeah, I enjoy it.
Good. I'm taking a leave from January through March, so you're gonna.
We got you, man. We got you. We got you covered.
You're going to fill in. If you could go to gigeconomyshow.com to sign up for our newsletter that we send out periodically, and then you also know when a new episode comes out, which is pretty much every Monday. But just in case you forget, you can go to gigeconomyshow.com. We've kind of revamped the site a little bit. Kind of our mentor of websites, Steve from Rideshare Rodeo, he puts a lot of news on there, so we started doing that as well. I would go to his site first, though. It's probably better, and then come to ours. But you can find everything on there that you need. I want to mention our Patreon members. Larry, of course, from Bowling Green, probably the longest Patreon member we've had. I think you are. And then Samson from Grand Rapids, Steve from Colorado, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Jamie from Tennessee, Frank from Philly, Joe from Grand Rapids, Nate from Florida, and John from California. I'd love for you to join the Patreon. You can join at a $5 tier or $10 tier. It just supports us. I'm not saying it's groundbreaking content that we give, but you do get extra content. You get a pre-show banter of us just talking shit, and then we try once a month to either get somebody on or Jesper and I just kind of we talk gig work, but sometimes it goes off the rails. So you'll just have to.
It's worth it though. It's worth the Patreon is worth it. The pre-show banner, you never know when you might learn something like Jason's Wi-Fi password or something.
Yeah, the last couple pre-shows have been pretty epic. The last one, I actually created my own song, and it actually must have been catchy because towards the end of the pre-show, which was probably like 6 minutes, Jesper started singing it, and it insulted Jesper of all things. The song did, and it was so catchy he started insulting himself. So
there you go.
Patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast, or just search patreon.com. And then of course the Telegram group. We had a new person join, didn't we, Larry?
We did.
Let me see. Oops, I'm in the wrong chat.
Yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, let me Jonathan Rexford. I don't know where. I didn't see where he was from, but I appreciate Jonathan for joining. You can go to our description, click on the link, and you can join the Telegram group. People all over the country. And Jonathan, if you're listening, I'd love to know where you're from, what market you drive in, and if you drive full time and all that stuff. So,
yeah, what gigs do you do?
Yeah, there's so many out there now. So many.
There's so many.
So many. Okay, stories from the road. This is where we talk about any adventures we have. If you're new to the show, I am a part-time gig worker. I do it actually probably a little bit more now since I became a bus driver, but I usually drive every other weekend, whether it be Amazon Flex or Uber or Lyft or whatever. And Larry, I'm not quite sure the amount of hours you're putting in now. In the past,
I'm pretty well doing full-time pretty much
okay.
now. Yeah.
In the past,
Yeah,
you were part-time, but
yeah, definitely driving. Yeah, I'd say I put in a good 40 hours at least.
wow. Are you
Or
just
close to
doing
it.
rideshare?
Mainly rideshare. When it's slow, like now, the students are gone for the semester. For the Christmas break, I'll probably start doing a little bit of food delivery
Okay.
But I haven't done anything like Spark or anything in a long time. But,
Okay. Well, just a tip on Spark, you should sign in, do one order every couple months because they'll deactivate you. Now, it doesn't mean you can't get back on if you care, but I know that I got deactivated, I called them, they reactivated me. But if they're still full,
Right,
and you might not be able to get back on. So
I'll probably need to do one this weekend. I can't even remember how long it's been. I may already be deactivated.
Well, I mean, maybe they've changed it, but I know
I still get the emails. But
yeah, Gary, damn it, now I have to go do a Spark order this month. I mean, They may have changed it. I usually just log in every couple of months and do an order. So, stories from the road. I'm gonna not say the names of all these people, just to keep. Well, I don't really care about them. I just don't want to get. I just don't want to get hate back because this is local in our group.
Yeah.
So I've done a couple of Amazon Flex lately. You would think that, on a completely side note, there not been Christmas surges for Amazon Flex. I'm not sure what's going on right now, but I mean, we're talking $30 an hour. And I mean, you can get that in the middle of summer. So I don't know what is going on, if they hire too many people or what. But anyways, so there's a couple of gentlemen at one of the warehouses that like to they just like to kiss butt. Well, I'll just put it that way. So they're kissing butt to the station managers. So you ask, why would that be important? Well, when we get there, we scan our license and there's just carts there, right? You don't get to pick. You get what you get and you take it.
Don't throw a fit.
Yeah, you could throw a fit, but you don't have to take it. But I just saw this comment, Gary. Such a long intro. Damn it, you bitch. And so sometimes you get screwed. Sometimes you get great routes. You just never know. Well, this individual really kisses his butt, and we're acquaintances. I mean, he recognized me in line, so I'm standing in line, right? Getting my license scan. You get your license scan, they give you a cart. 6-7 people in line. He's over to the left. And I watched him bring up a Starbucks bag and gave it to one of the station managers. He turns to me and he says, "Oh yeah, there's booze in there." I was like, okay. So I didn't say anything. And so he's standing over there talking to the station manager, and I'm getting checked in. And right when I get checked in, that station manager had gone to the back of the warehouse and brought a cart up. So in my head, I just thought it was mine. I grabbed it, and he goes, "Oh, no, that's mine." I go, "What do you mean that's yours?" He's like, "Oh, he got it for me." I said, "Oh, you get special treatment?" And he said, "Yep." And so whatever, he got his cart and started walking away. Mind you, he's right behind me in the warehouse. Like, we're in a line. He's parked right behind me. And I was like, that's against the rules, right? And he's like, "Yep." And he just loaded his stuff and left. So it sucks, right? Because no one likes to get a shitty route. And it's a luck of the draw, and everyone should be treated fairly. I mean, that's just how it should be.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if, I should report it or I should just ignore it and just deal with it, which I probably will. It's like, does it really affect me? No, but if he's getting routes every day, it affects somebody every single day, not just me.
So what you need to do, Jason, is you need to bring in a bigger bribe, not to get a good route, but to bribe them to give him a shitty route.
I don't know why he told me there was booze in there. Like,
yeah,
he kind of opened himself up. Like, I wasn't even really going to say anything. I always had a feeling that was happening, but I never saw it in person. And I'm just like, I wasn't even going to say anything. It's like he couldn't wait to tell me. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was going to be cool or something. And I'm all for being friendly for people. And if it happens to get you something good, well, then that's just karma. I wouldn't do it just to get something. I just try to put out what I want back. And So yeah, it was a little. I'm still not sure what to do, but again, I'll probably forget about it in a week and just go on with my life. But
that's pretty crummy though.
Yeah,
like you said, it's it's supposed to be luck of the draw, and if you get a good route, so be it. But that's going to get equaled out. You're going to get a crummy route sometimes, but it shouldn't be political, or shouldn't be this is my buddy, so I'm going to make sure he gets the good routes.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I don't know what they could do, because it's not like we're an employee of the warehouse. Like if somebody on the floor was doing that with him and to get a better position on the floor, then it's like, oh wow, that's a little different. I mean, it's still a problem, but it is what it is. It just kind of pissed me off, because I'm kind of like, it should be equal across. That's the fair way to do it. And I know life isn't fair. I get it. Did I cry about it? No, I just fucking took my cart and delivered it. Like, I just was like, oh, I got to tell this story because this shit can't happen. So
yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Any stories for you at all?
Yeah. So one thing I really work on, since my market is so small and I have a lot of repeat customers, I really try to kind of build relationships and community with these passengers that I have over and over. And most of them are college kids, just because they utilize rideshare so much. And so a few weeks ago, I pulled up to pick up a passenger, and got there, and the timer was almost out. So I called them, and I was like, "Hey, you still need a ride?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we didn't realize you were here." And then she came out, and you'll hear, we're going to play an audio clip of it. But it's a passenger that I've had several times, and she was just kind of having a bad night. And she was she said it just made her feel better to have me as her driver. So if you want to go ahead and we'll play that audio.
All right.
Hey, Rebecca.
Larry!
How are you?
What are you doing? Did you get a new car?
I did. My other one, I got caught in the middle of a 7-car pileup on I-65.
I heard you. Don't know how happy I am to see you.
How you doing?
I'm good. I've had the worst night ever, and you just made my whole night better.
What happened?
I don't know if you could tell, but when you called me, I was crying.
What's the matter?
It's just a bad night.
Well,
I don't want to talk about it, but
well, good. We don't have to talk about it.
seeing you just made my whole night better. You got a new car, and I'm happy.
I did get a new car.
You got a new car.
Had to.
You needed to. We missed you. Everybody missed you.
I was out for like 6 weeks.
I know. Oh my gosh. My whole night is just better now. I'm happy now. No, but I am. I'll get there. That just made me so much happier than I was before.
So yeah, she's a buddy. She's my buddy, and she was having a bad night. I think she was having some boy troubles.
Who doesn't have boy trouble?
Exactly. So her friend was with her. I was taking them over to, I think, a house party. And so when they were getting out, I was like, "Listen, like, don't be putting up with no boys bullshit, okay?" And she's like, "We won't." And then her friend's outside, and her friend's like, "Yeah, fuck men." and then she was like, "Yeah, fuck all the men except for Larry."
Except for Larry. Let's go. That's amazing. I'm so glad you're able to make those connections. Honestly, and maybe you realize this, but like, they'll always remember that. Like, they're going to get older, they're going to get married and have kids and yada, yada. But they'll always remember that, especially when their kids get older and they start taking rideshare. Because, I mean, it's here to stay. Like, it's not going anywhere, hopefully.
Yeah.
But they're going to say, you know what? I had this driver once, and man, he took care of us when we were in college. Like, God, I love that guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's so cool. I can't say that I have that connection with any of my passengers.
Yeah, like I said, I see so many of them over and over again, especially the college kids. And I mean, there's been I don't know, a dozen times probably when I've had a passenger and they'll be getting in, they'll be like, "Oh man, I'm getting ready to graduate, or I just graduated, and I remember when I was a freshman, I had you as a freshman, and
yeah,
I didn't know what I was doing." And I've watched them go through school, and it's almost like watching some of your kids grow up. Not that I need any more kids, for heaven's sake, but
no, let's try to avoid that.
Yeah, that ship has sailed.
Right.
So it is neat, and I enjoy the fact that I'm in the kind of small market, where I do have those repeat customers, and you can kind of build a relationship. And and the whole, doing the Instagram, taking the pictures with them, that really gets them kind of hooked. They really enjoy that.
Well,
they
of
really
course,
like
because the kids are like, that's what
they're all about the social media, man. So yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
they
at least
are.
twice, 2 or 3 times every Thursday night, I'll get people in. I'm like, oh my God, we've been trying to get you, can we get a picture for the Instagram?
Of course. Of
So
course.
yeah, it's hilarious, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun having that kind of connection with, with some of my passengers.
I bet that's a special thing to be able to have that. So I'm going to jump into the news, and this is kind of weird. Okay. So the first article, like everyone's talking about, Uber CEO hides driver pay to cuts to boost profit. So I read this article 2 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
They
took it down.
They took it down. I can't find it anywhere.
I've got it. I can send it to you. I found a redirect for it.
Did you?
Let me see. I did. Yeah. I meant to tell you that before the show. I forgot about that.
I mean, I literally read it like 2 hours ago in bed, just like chilling. I'm like catching up on the stories. And I went to go pull it up while you were talking, try to be ready. And I'm like, it's 4:04.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they pulled it. They convinced them to pull it. But I don't know. What's the best way to send this to you? I can.
Do you have Telegram on your computer?
I do.
Yeah, you can just send it via Telegram. While you're doing that. Yeah, that is a damning article. And I was just going to briefly go through it, but I'm reading this. I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is going to be crazy. And I don't know why they just pulled it tonight, because it's been out for a little bit, I think. I was going to see if it would even give me a timestamp. Man, I can't believe they convinced him to pull it down. How much money did they take to do that?
Yeah, I was reading, I try to read all the articles you're going to do too, just so I can speak somewhat intelligently about them. So I've tried to pull that one up, and it kept saying page not found. Oh. And then I found somebody who's like, okay, they pulled it, but here, I've got it. Here's the archive link to it.
Hey, I didn't even know there was a site for that. So you just, I don't
know how they did this. I really don't know.
Well, you know what it is? It looks like where I rip YouTube, like a site like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're up for 6 months and they just get shut down. I have a site that I go for TikToks. I mean, it's not like it's not illegal, but it's like they frown upon it. So, but yeah, that's what looks like the site is. So anyways, this wasn't posted as long ago as I thought. It was December 11th. It's the 13th today, so it's been up for 2 days.
2 days.
I would encourage you to read it. Larry can here, actually, I'll just throw it in the chat just so people have it.
Yeah, it is a very interesting article.
Yeah,
very interesting article.
I really can't do it justice because it's incredibly long.
It is, yeah. It's pretty in depth.
Fuck, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, so basically the gist of it is Uber CEO hides driver pay to boost profits. So, we've kind of heard all of that, like, whatever. You see people saying we're not getting the 18% or the 20%, blah blah blah. They're taking 30 or 40%, but so the statement that Uber said, Uber CEO has masked these inconvenient truths behind vague, misleading scripted talking points. For example, in a recent interview, car switcher Dara claimed the average driver in the U.S. last quarter made between $33 and $34 per utilized hour, and that, not including commercial insurance costs that are very expensive, our take, the amount of passenger's fare that the company keeps for itself is about 15%. Okay? 15%, right? So it looks like they took for quarter 3, 2023 was 40%. Like the numbers don't lie.
Right.
40%, not 15%. So it goes through so much. It's such a good article. And clearly the writer fucking hates the Uber corporate. He's all for the drivers, but it goes through just talking about what they did, how they slowly, they talked about, and so this is interesting too. I don't know if you know about this, and I'm skipping around and I'll let you chime in, but I don't want to lose where I'm at. But Uber's most recent pay cut was enabled by a new pay policy called Upfront Fares Plus Destination, or UFD. Now, I knew about the upfront fares, but which Uber began rolling out in the U.S. late last year. Like its 2016 upfront passenger pricing predecessor, UFD completely decoupled driver pay from the actual time and distance of ride-hail trips, meaning like you get this amount, for this many miles,
Right.
yada, yada.
Yep.
Under Uber's current plan, drivers are given upfront information on passenger destination address, predicted trip time, distance, including to the pickup point, and pay amount sent by an opaque, invisible algorithm. Drivers only have seconds to respond to a trip offer with the fear fueled by anecdotal evidence that refusing too many trips may put them in the penalty box, unknown duration, ghosted from receiving additional trip offers. Moreover, when an Uber driver does refuse an unattractive trip offer, other drivers are then allowed to bid for the same trip for the trip radar. So I've been like the last 6 months going, I'm seeing some of these fares.
Yeah.
They don't make sense. When I see them and decline them, and I'll see something similar and it'll be $5-6 more.
Yeah. I've seen that a lot. I've on different message boards and obviously through the Telegram group. I mean, knock on wood, we're still on Uber. We're still getting paid time and distance.
Are you really?
So I'm still making that good rate with that good per mile rate. It's like Gabe, where he said that and over there they instituted it, but then they took it away. Here they never instituted it. So we're on Uber. I still get time and distance here, but Lyft is not. Lyft is the upfront pricing, and like you said, you get a couple of seconds. You're trying to do all this math in your head and figure out whether it's worth it or not. But
well, I've gotten pretty good at it because I look at it, I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like I can tell right off the bat, like the amount of time it's going to take me to do that is not good. And then I've also had rides so bizarre, like a short ass ride, like 6-7 miles be $24, like on an Uber X. And I'm like, what is going on? This does not make sense. So it's making it more challenging for the driver.
Yeah. For sure.
To make a decision.
Yeah, they're just muddying the waters. They're just muddying it because then, every now and then, like I said, you'll get a really good one like that and you don't know why. And so it just muddies the waters,
Surprisingly enough, I've gotten some good ones in the radar where I can't click on them fast enough and I don't get it because everyone sees it.
I see maybe 2 trips a week on Trip Radar. Maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never see trips on radar.
Oh, we get them all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe twice a week I'll see one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so weird how the different markets are so different. And kind of going along with this, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the Telegram group, but if you've never watched the movie or the series called Super Pumped, have you ever seen that?
Is that the documentary?
Yeah, it's not documentary. It's a movie, but it's all about the fight for Uber, and it's all about Travis starting Uber and all the way up to the point where he gets removed. And me and my wife were watching it, and she's like, "Did they really do that?" And I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, they did that." They were accessing people's cameras and microphones. The whole gray ball situation where they were making it where the city officials couldn't get an Uber ride. And I mean, all this stuff. And she's like, was that going on when you were doing it? I was like, yeah, that was after. I remember some of that stuff, when it was going on, the whole big hubbub about it.
Honestly, I'd rather go back to that if I can get the payback like we were, like whatever. Fucking look at my camera. I don't care.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not anything in my car. I'm not worried about with the camera. If you're going to pay me what it used to pay, what it used to pay, go right ahead. But it's interesting watch for sure.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I'll encourage you to look at this article. I don't know how long it'll be on this site. God, I'm so interested in why they pulled that down. Like, journal, like something happened. Like, their lawyers obviously were working on it probably 24 hours a day or something. I'm just like, I'm always interested. And Forbes is not a bullshit website either. It's not like it's.
Oh yeah, no, that's a major company.
So to have an article get taken down like that, that's some serious.
Somebody's got some pull somewhere.
Seriously, but check it out. I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I'm still gonna drive. I just have to be more discerning of the rides I take, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Pay just continues to go down and down and down. Like when Uber in this, going back to this documentary movie, they were trying to keep people from driving with Lyft. They signed contracts with drivers out there, $20 a mile,
just to not
so
drive.
These people went out and bought new cars. So they wouldn't drive with Lyft. They had to be exclusive to Uber. Well, it showed, this one guy goes and buys a new car, driving for it. Well, then once they've kind of gotten Lyft under control and they're dominating, they just break the contract and this guy's car gets repoed.
Yep. Don't ever trust these companies.
It's interesting.
Oh, real quick before we move on. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying, never think they have your best interest in heart.
No, they don't. Real quick, I wanted to go back to this. They talked about Lyft quarterly earnings. So Lyft is taking more too, but it's interesting. So they've been doing it for a while. In 2022, their take was 34.1%. So clearly they've been doing it too. But in 2023, it actually went down. They took less. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The average pay is a little bit lower, but I don't know. I thought this would come up about Lyft more than Uber because Lyft is charging their passengers so much money. I hear people talking about. So, but anyways, I thought that was good. Larry, speaking of Lyft.
So yeah, on Lyft, I know one of the things that always irritated me and many of the drivers in our Telegram group would drive you crazy is Lyft. You accept a ride, you're on your way there, you may be on the interstate even, and all of a sudden they switch you to a different ride. And a lot of times it's going back the other direction. So you get off the interstate, turn around, get back on the interstate, start heading in the direction, and I'll be damned, they switch you to another ride back the other way again. And it didn't happen a ton of times, but when it does, it's very frustrating, especially, I mean, I remember having an airport ride, which is, a good ride, $90 ride, and, getting switched to an $8 ride here in town.
Yeah.
And, so I just happened to be, when I was coming back, I went to St. Louis this weekend to visit my son. I was coming back. I turned on Lyft to turn on the destination filter.
Mm-hmm.
And down at the bottom, one of the options was to turn off switched rides.
Okay.
So now it's an option. You can turn it off and they will, supposedly they will not switch you to another ride anymore. So I clicked that like in a millisecond. I have never really seen an advantage to switching to another ride because it's never been some big, great improvement. The other ride that I've gotten,
early on when they were doing that, they promised to give you a ride that was the same or better. But lately it hasn't been like that.
Yeah. You know what I think of their promises.
Yeah. Just like we just talked about the last article, like don't believe
exactly
any of these companies. Yeah. I didn't know that. I definitely would be switching that.
I had not seen it on any of the groups. I mean, I may have missed it somewhere. I hadn't heard anybody talk about it in our group or anything. And that, like I said, maybe it just came out. But
yeah, it's not like Lyft's going to advertise it.
No, exactly.
They would rather you not turn that. But I mean, I appreciate them. As much as we shit on them, I always do try to call out things that they are doing right. And, and I appreciate them doing that.
Yeah, definitely. And, I know Uber's seems like they're really trying to work on the app. So, Lyft's got to do something to try to keep up, I guess.
Again, going back to the last article, I keep going back to that. I don't see anything changing.
Yeah.
I think the drivers are going to still drive and Uber's, what do they call them? Not the stock. Yeah, the stockholders, whatever. They're going to be like, all right, good job. Cool. Yeah. Moving on. More money for us.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So I actually did some DoorDash last weekend. I actually got on DoorDash. I forgot to talk about that. I made $19.
Oh my gosh.
$19.
Man, don't spend it all in one spot.
I already did. I went to Crumble Cookie.
Oh, too late.
So I saw this on Reddit.
Long.
Is this new delay pay? It says resolution options. Your order has a long wait time. Continue waiting for an additional $2. You'll receive this merchant delay pay once the order is completed or unassigned with no pay. The commenter said, I have been dashing for over a year and have almost 4K deliveries, and this is the first time I've ever seen this or have been offered this. I'm kind of shocked. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would wait for $2. Like, I mean, you probably have the upper hand in that $2 post, right? Because you kind of know how long it's going to be for that food. Like, if you're a decent driver, if you go in there and they say it's not ready and you don't say how long, like, you need to be a little persistent on, like, what are we looking at here? Like, I always say, can you just give it to me straight? It's not going to hurt my feelings. How long is it going to be?
Just let me know.
Because I'll just unassign. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I think they always try to lowball shit because they worry that for the customer to be angry. But for me, I'm just like, I always say, just tell it to me straight. I don't care either way. And, you know.
Yes, no skin off my nose. Just let me know.
But how long extra are you going to wait for $2?
Maybe 2 minutes.
Oh, really? You're gonna wait? You want $1 a minute for that, huh?
I don't know. I do so little food delivery, and be honest, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's been a long time since I've had to wait more than maybe a minute or two.
Yeah.
And I even thought, I was like, man, they must not be assigning them as quickly as they used to, at least on Grubhub. I don't ever get on DoorDash either. So
yeah.
But Grubhub, it seems like now when I get the order assigned to me, by the time I get there, it's ready. Whereas it used to be, you know, when they're first starting, you get there, or during the pandemic, you get there, and, you know, it might be 20 minutes, you know, or 30 minutes or something.
I mean, obviously the data, they're getting more data and realizing it. In fact, when I get to a restaurant and it's past the time that they promised it, I always make a tap it, order not ready, because it's not to stick it to the man or the restaurant. You're just giving them data. Like, ooh.
Yeah. They just need to know.
Yeah. I'm sending them early. So the $2 thing, I think on the surface, it looks really nice, but I also think it plays head games with the driver, because if you have a decent order tip, let's say, like, it's already a good order and they offer that to you, you're probably going to stay, right? So DoorDash gets that order delivered and they only lose $2. Whereas I just think it's more head games of, like, trying to convince you to stay with that. And, but I mean, I guess, you know, it's $2. I mean, it's better than no bucks.
Yeah. They'll probably mess around with it. They'll probably try 2 and 4, and, you know, they'll probably see what the point is, where it seems like people are staying, you know, the greatest percentage of people, I guess, are staying for the lowest amount they can.
Well, I mean, I saw somebody comment, I'm guessing it's a beta. It's already being abused by dashers who are purposely waiting. Well, here's the thing. If the restaurant clicks order ready, if they're doing their job, I don't know how you can abuse it.
Yeah, and I don't want to wait, even for $2. I don't want to. I'm going to get it and go. I mean, what are you doing?
If people are doing that, this is the problem with freaking people doing gig work. Like, you're seriously, like, doing this for $2?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I want to get the food and go deliver it and be on to something else. I'm not gonna sit around saying I'm waiting if the food's ready.
The person that's, like, doing that also takes all $2 orders, so it's no surprise there.
Yeah.
Larry, these are the cars you can trust to last 200,000 miles. Now, I did not read this. I'm interested to see some of the cars on that list. I mean, I'm sure they're all Toyotas, Hondas, but
you are correct, my sir, except for one.
Oh, wow.
Except for one.
And I know it ain't Jeep. Sorry, Gabe.
Sorry, Gabe. Any other guess what the one that's not a Toyota or a Honda?
I'm going to say it's not domestic. I'm going to say Acura?
It is.
Oh, it is domestic.
The one, so I'll go through them by number. So number 1, Toyota Camry. 2's Honda Accord. 3's Honda CR-V. Then a Toyota Prius, Toyota Sienna, then a Ford F-150.
I feel like that's depending on the year. I really do. But I'm surprised on that.
Yeah. Then Toyota Corolla, Toyota Highlander, Toyota 4Runner, Tacoma, Honda Civic, and Honda Pilot. So out of 12 of them, 7 of them are Toyotas, 4 are Hondas, and you got the Ford F-150. But I mean, as a gig worker, if you're doing food delivery or rideshare, I mean, this is your office. This is your moneymaker.
Yeah.
You know, and I know I've been spoiled. This is my 3rd Camry that I have. And it's funny. I'll hear people on some other podcast or show or something that's not related to gig work, and they're like, oh man, I really hope my car makes it to 100,000 miles. I'm like, 100,000 miles?
Jeez.
What are you talking about? I'm like, that's just broke in at 100,000. I'm so spoiled by my other two Camrys both had, 300,000 on them. And, I don't even think, I just don't even think that way, that a car should get to 100,000. I'm like, it should get to, 250 or 300 at least.
I mean, my Honda, I look at it like there is no end.
Yeah.
Like, I think it can go forever until like it gets in an accident or completely rusts out that it falls apart.
Just like John's Honda. What is he at? Like 675,000 miles, 650, something like that.
That's
I don't
amazing.
Even know that is crazy.
The 100,000 mile thing, when people say that, like, there are cars out there that probably can't make it to 100,000 miles. Like,
yeah, and I'm not buying those cars.
Well, I mean, are they that much cheaper in the long run? Like, if you're looking at a new car, are they like 12 to 15,000 cheaper, or are they like
exactly
$4,000 cheaper?
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah. Buy something that's going to last you a while, spend a little bit of money to get something that's going to last. And, you don't have to buy one brand new. You can buy one 3, 4, 5 years old where most of the depreciation's already been taken and still get a really good car. Yeah.
The only reason this is my first car I bought brand new, is because of the tax incentive. Yeah. That's the only reason, because I think you can get it if you buy used, but it's like a lot smaller. But I was just like, I'm just going to buy new. So I know Frank was teasing me the other night, but I did just turn 10,000 miles in my new car.
10,000.
I mean, that's a lot since getting it in mid-July. I mean, I think that's a lot of miles. That's too many for me. I'm like, hey, boy. But I'm not going to lie. I got a plate on the Pilot because Avery's going to be driving it. I fucking miss that car, Larry. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The seat is so much more comfortable than my Bolt. I mean, my Bolt's not bad, but it's
not the same.
It's not the same. That car just like had this nice big seat, and it's just like, I mean, I love my Bolt. I really, it's so much more agile. I mean, that Pilot is a tank. I mean, I'm driving it out, like turning it like it's got no power steering in it. You know what I mean? And I love my Bolt. Don't get me wrong, but man, it's still like you get back in there. I mean, you have a lot of life in that. I have a lot of adventures in that car.
A lot of memories.
A lot of memories. Good, bad, all that stuff. But
yep. Oh yeah, that's for sure.
It doesn't surprise me that a Honda Pilot's on there. That's for sure at the end there.
Yeah, like I said, 7 Toyotas. 4 Hondas and a Ford F-150. And I mean, it just amazes me how trucks have turned into luxury vehicles.
Oh,
I mean, when I was growing up, a truck was just a truck.
Yeah.
And now they're so decked out with all the luxury items, that you can get. And I mean, so no wonder they cost $80,000, $90,000.
Well, you know what? Another thing that cracks me up is these people with their Jeep Wranglers. It's an off-road truck, and the things are pristine driving down the road. Like, that thing hasn't been off-road. It's been if the Starbucks drive-through is off-road, then you can call it an off-road vehicle.
It's probably never even been on gravel.
Yeah, it's probably never been on gravel. It probably hasn't even hit the shoulder of a highway.
Oh, no doubt.
All right, next up, Uber driver wouldn't let me leave without rating him 5 stars, which is crazy. So my trip ended $40 or something. I only had a 20, so I tipped him $20. He thanked me, but then told me I couldn't leave until I rated him 5 stars. I mean, obviously in most workplaces, everyone wants good reviews. So I said, okay, once I get into my apartment. My area has horrible service, and I only can get decent service once I'm connected to Wi-Fi. Anyways, he keeps telling me I can't leave until I give him 5 stars and put reason, safety, and security. This guy didn't type very well. Anyways, I don't have the service, and he drives around till I do have service, and I rate him 5 because I want to leave, and he asked to ensure I rated him 5 for safety and security, but it wouldn't load, so he let me leave. Am I insane for feeling uneasy about this? Obviously, first comment, report immediately. Second comment, screw the 5-star rating. A $20 tip is good enough. Good enough? That's more than good enough. You're basically kidnapped. You should have called 911. So anyways, I don't know. Do you think this is a legit story? Does it seem real as I read it or not?
Yeah. I mean, I can see this happening. There's just some strange, some people, especially if it's a new driver, they get hung up on the ratings like crazy. I mean, somebody told me that I couldn't leave till I rated him. I mean, I think I'd laugh in their face and walk off.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, if he was in the car, I mean, I always try to be careful because I wasn't in that situation, and maybe they felt threatened.
Sure, yeah, and that's very possible. That's very, especially like I said, if they're still in the car, and it could be a intimidating looking driver, and he's already done some crazy stuff, or you don't know the whole story for sure. So I'm not making light of them by any means. It's just it's so beyond our thinking to do something like that,
I mean, honestly, I would probably start smashing him in the temple until he stopped the car and let me out. But yeah, that's who cares? Like who well, he's going to be deactivated, so we don't need to worry about that. Real quick, RMI Inspections. This is a inspection company that does it via video chat, iPhone or Android, doesn't matter. I always put on demand. I mean, I guess it's on demand. You schedule it online, and they call you. It's about 20, 30 minutes just to inspect your vehicle. It's $19 to do that, and you don't pay unless you pass. Obviously, like I always say, I put this disclaimer in because, yes, it is online. If your shit's broke, get it fixed. Like, they're not going to pass you. I mean, obviously. But they check all the safety features and those kind of things. And it's really quick and simple. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Lifting with Larry used this company.
That is 100% correct. When I went in my crash and had to hit my new vehicle, I utilized this company, and I highly recommend it. They were super friendly. It's easy to schedule. Like I said, it's not quite on demand. You can't just you set up a time with them, but then they call you through FaceTime or whatever you want to do. They have you walk around and do the seat belts and the lights and the brake lights, and the tread depth in your tires, and everything that they need to check. And it's super convenient, though. You don't have to worry about driving in somewhere. It's just I did it in my driveway and good to go.
Yeah,
I would highly recommend them.
Yeah, I know they have gotten definitely some work from us, so I think it's a great idea. And check them out. The link is in the description. And sign up, get her done. You need that inspection done. Mine just expired on the Pilot. I thought about redoing it, but I was like, I don't know. Then I have to put the ride. You know what I mean? Like I have to put extra insurance on it because I'm not saying I would use it regularly, but like in a pinch or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, I have it on my wife's car.
Oh, do you?
Just in case. Well, I mean, I was when I was in my wreck, I was thinking I might use her car. So I went ahead and got the inspection. But I ended up not driving for 6 weeks. So I didn't, by that time I had my new car, so I didn't have it, but I mean, it's still on there. I mean, I took the insurance back off, but to put that back on, it's just going online and clicking it on there. So that's not a big deal, but then the inspection's good for a year. So
you're in a unique situation because, as you said at the beginning of the show, you're starting to work more full-time hours. So if your car goes down, it's kind of like you kind of need a backup to
a little bit. I mean, it helps.
I mean, you depending on, God forbid you get another accident, but depending on
hush your mouth.
I'm just I said God forbid. God forbid. Like I'm just saying.
Don't even put that out into the atmosphere.
I'm sorry. I'll delete it before I put it up. Oh wait, it's too late. It's live. Okay, Larry. This next one's for you. I put I love doing Jesper. I put the uncomfortable one.
Oh, I know. I was like, I'm definitely taking Jesper's spot tonight.
Because he gave me this one.
So anyway, for the audio people only, this is a family or a house that left out some treats for their delivery drivers. And we saw this a lot during the pandemic. Not some, don't see it as much anymore.
No.
But anyway, they've got a nice basket out there. They have a sign in front of it that says, "Thank you so much to all our delivery drivers. Please help yourself to snacks and drinks to show our appreciation. Thanks again. Love the Bowden family." And so they got a nice big, wicker basket. It's got bottled water in it. It's got goldfish crackers, Giraldi chocolates, some chips. And then in front of it, there's 2 big boxes of Trojan condoms.
I mean, what in the actual hell?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain that. You're wondering if like one of the kids put that out there as a joke.
Parents probably have no idea.
I mean, I can't. I mean, because it says help yourself to treats and snacks. Doesn't say anything about extracurricular activities.
Well,
so.
I mean, is it? I can't really see in the picture, but I mean, is that hand sanitizer next to it?
Yes.
So
yes,
I mean, I was gonna say, is it lube? Because then we got some issues. We got some.
You're
issues.
right. That is hand sanitizer. Yeah, I zoomed in on it. I thought that was bottled water, but they do have some cans of like Black Rifle, espresso, mochas, things like that. But
Black Rifle, that shit's expensive. It's good coffee.
Yeah, that's not cheap, man. That's not cheap at all. It's like canned drinks.
Yeah,
on those green.
Oh yeah, I see them now. And they have, right? I probably pronounce it wrong, but that chocolate Ghirardelli. Yeah, that's really good chocolate.
Yeah, I call it, Graldi. Yeah.
No, I don't know what you called it, but I just
I think that's what I called it.
Okay, so again, Reddit never disappoints me with the comments. Comment number one. Well, comment number one got deleted. Comment number one. We're all getting fucked by Amazon, so go with the Trojans. Looks like the driver chose the chocolates or the caramels. Second comment, I respect it. Just remember to pull out. Well, you don't have to with the condom. I don't have a sex life, so I'd take some snack and bounce. Oh, geez, this one's it's interesting. Fill the condoms with hand sanitizer and slide them on your fingers. Now you're prepared for even the dirtiest packages in the world. Hooray for you!
Gosh,
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
But yeah, I'm with you. I didn't think about that, but I bet you the kids. I bet you because why would you put that out there unless they're looking for extra partners, and this is kind of like a hey, I mean,
tease.
I don't see a pineapple there, but maybe on the wall there's an upside down pineapple. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen at a snack thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty funny because these are big boxes. They're like says 10 condoms, 10 condoms in each box, and so one's the purple Trojan G-Spot, and the other one's called Trojan Nirvana Variety Pack. So 4 experiences to explore.
The marketing in these is ridiculous because first of all, that condom's not going to hit the G-spot. Like, I mean, let's face it. You're going to barely get that thing on and you're going to be done. All right. So, like, don't even advertise it's going to hit the G-spot. Dumbest fucking advertising I've ever seen.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Moving on, Larry. We got a video here of a Uber Eats driver that had their car stolen twice. Did you see that one or not?
Yes.
I can just play the video.
Yeah, play the video here and then we'll talk about it.
Think you've had bad days? Well, those are bullet holes, and whoever was in this car or beside it had a bad day.
Like they were shooting out of my vehicle.
She had a bad day, too. It didn't involve gunfire, but it did include having 2 cars stolen in one day. This was the second one. Now, we're not identifying her or showing her identity, but it all began on the morning of November 17th when the car she uses for Uber was stolen from Union Market.
With that Uber, that Hyundai was my keys to my Lexus.
Along with something bearing her address. You can guess what happened next.
Within a matter of moments of time, about 10, 15 minutes after them taking my Hyundai, came to my house and got my second car.
11 days later, finally, some good news in the mail. But even that was tainted. The letter was from a towing company,
saying that my Lexus truck was recovered.
It was abandoned on a street in Capitol Heights, and it had been towed to an impound lot in Prince George's County. The letter instructed her to come get her car and to bring $463 in storage fees.
I asked them, where's my truck? Even, driver booth, is it worth me even coming to get it? Because, when you think when your car gets stolen, it's crashed up, it's damaged, you can't drive it. So they were like, well, we'll talk to you when you get here with the $463.
When she got there, she saw the bullet holes.
When we opened the door, we found a bunch of shell casings that were inside the vehicle.
Along with drug paraphernalia and trash. Since the car was stolen in the district, she called D.C. police. And she says a detective came and processed the car, took prints, and collected the shell casings. End of story. End of ordeal, right? Well, not quite. She didn't even want to drive the car anymore. She'd be driving around in a crime scene. Imagine getting pulled over in a car with bullet holes in it and having nothing more than a towing receipt to explain why. Fortunately, that didn't happen, though she had one more interaction with police.
They came out and took our DNA to exclude us from the crime because their vehicle was reported in 3 other carjackings.
And that's where it all stands at this point. A bullet-riddled car she's afraid to drive. Her DNA on file to exclude her from an alleged crime spree. And the car she uses for work that was stolen?
It has not been recovered yet.
Derek Ward, News 4.
Well, you thought you were having bad luck.
Telling you, two cars in one day. That's a rough day.
That is a rough
day.
Where did they say they were out of? Washington, D.C.?
D.C., I believe it said. Yeah, I mean, D.C. has got a pretty high crime rate.
Yeah, it is hilarious that has a high crime rate, and that's where all our politicians are.
Well, birds of a feather
flock together.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel bad for that lady.
Yeah.
Especially,
I also think it's funny that it's legal to smoke weed in DC too.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh wow! Probably not when you're driving though.
Or maybe when you're passing bills though. That's the legislation.
Could be. Yeah. That's true. Maybe they should smoke a little weed. That might be less assholes.
Yeah, maybe they could unwind a little bit, not be twisted so tight,
right?
So tight. But yeah, I mean that's just especially somebody. I mean, this is your livelihood, as we said. If this is something you do full time, this is your livelihood, and to get your car and then your backup car.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She had 2 cars to make money, and golly, it's time to move out of the area.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess. I don't know why she would have something on her key ring, I guess, that has her address, unless I guess maybe in case you lose your keys and maybe ask somebody to bring them back. But you run into this risk. You have your other car key on there as well. They're going to come. They know your address now, and they're going to come steal your other car. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would have expected it quicker, honestly.
Yeah, that I think it'd be time to change careers at that point.
So last article, I know, I don't know if you ended up having time to read this one, but there was a couple in there that I had duplicated, so I took them off, but I can run this one. Did I read it? Absolutely not. Some Uber Lyft drivers learn they can earn more if they're picky about who they serve, which, that's pretty obvious. But honestly, though, for new drivers, this might be a good article for them.
Every new driver should read this article. We've talked about this, and I mean it's just like the food delivery as well. We've talked about it so many times over the years that not every ride is profitable.
Yeah,
there's some, and they're just not. They're just not, and they'll try to lure you in by, oh, you got to do so many to get this bonus, or you got to do this. But there's some rides that it's just not worth it.
Yeah. And especially now, I mean, back then, pretty much any ride was all right, let's get it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unless it was the pickup was 20 minutes away and you were doing a 2-mile ride.
Yeah. Yeah. I often wonder when Lyft sends me those rides. It feels like it's mostly Lyft. Uber's probably they're definitely not going to take this. But Lyft's they're suckers. They might. But yeah, I often wonder why. How can I be the closest car for this? It's 20 minutes away. There's no way. Yeah. This is Grand Rapids. I mean, yeah, it's not a huge city, but it's big enough. You've been here. It's big.
Oh yeah.
It's big enough to have a ton of drivers on. How am I the closest driver? I don't know. I don't understand that.
Yeah. Why you have to want. Why you're getting that ride. I mean, even here, I know there's been times when I've been, maybe sitting downtown and look at the passenger app just to see where the other cars are. And, there may be, the other 5 cars are all between me and the mall, and I'll get a call to the mall. And I'm I know there's 5 other drivers between me and there. Why am I getting this call?
Yeah, I often wonder if they're trying to like somehow manipulate you or just test the market to see if you're willing to do it. Like, I don't even know. I don't understand that.
A rideshare company manipulate us? Come on, Jason.
So one of the guys in here, what it usually does is they'll have like little people featured in here, but Fred's main strategy as a driver is accepting nearly every ride. His lifetime acceptance rate is 84%. He does that because it gives him the best chance to retain his Uber Diamond status, which offers various benefits such as savings at select gas stations through a reward system. Fred said the best perk of his status is dedicated customer support he receives. Now that's fucking bullshit right there. The best support or the best perk would be the gas rebate. I mean, why would it be support? How often are you calling support? I probably called support 6 times or dealt with them in my 4,000 rides. Like, why is it that the best perk of everything?
Yeah. I mean, the best perk. I mean, my mind is to call it free tuition.
No, yeah.
Aside from that, though, but I mean, even the gas rewards. I'm like, there's so many different gas reward programs out there. I mean, is this one that much better?
Well, I think it is. I think you can get up to like 10%. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, especially if you're filling up every day. So it costs you $40 to fill up. You're saving $4 every time. I mean, that's not bad. But again, you're also driving like an asshole to go into every ride. So is it really saving you that much in the long run because you're taking every ride?
Yeah, you're taking these rides where you have to drive 10 minutes to take somebody, a mile. So I don't know. The gas reward thing doesn't really get me. Just because it seems like every gas station or whatever has, or we have the Upside app, for some gas stations, and there's just different things. But I mean, there's not. I was Diamond. I don't think I am now. I was. I think the last couple of quarters or whatever they call them, were just because I wasn't trying to. It's just because I was driving full time.
Yeah,
and it wasn't anything I was shooting for. Because they did offer that one-time payment for being Diamond, but that was just a one-time deal, so that's not any incentive. So
Janet says the other cars have declined the ride. You're probably right, but I mean, in theory, it does the whole circle thing, the round robin, and then it goes further out and further out and further out. But how do they think if the drivers there decline the ride, if that someone 20 minutes away is going to accept it? Because that's ridiculous. Going back to the gas, I spent $55 last month on my car to charge it.
Really?
$55. Oh man! And I drove, and I mean that's driving my
crazy
personal time, and then even gigging on the weekend. And I'm up to 35 this month, so a little bit more. I've been driving a little bit more, but I mean,
I probably spent that much in the last 2 days.
I mean, it's is the payment hefty? It is. Am I trying to pay it off as quick as possible? I am. And hopefully the interest rates go down because I can refinance. But I mean, literally the gas is paying for the payment, the gas savings. So it's like I don't even have a car payment and I got a brand new car. You know what I mean? So obviously the quicker I get it paid off, the more I'll save.
Did you ever get the charger at your house?
Oh yeah. Oh, if I didn't have a charger at my house, that would be 3 times the amount, if not more.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I think I pay like 8 cents a kilowatt at night from 11 p to 6 a.m. So the charger's set up. I get home from work, I plug it in. It doesn't turn on until 11. Charged to what I set it at, and then
that's nice. So you can program it.
Yep,
that's sweet. Yeah.
Yep, I don't even have to think about it. Plug it in and forget it, and then. It's so good at recognizing the schedule, which you think it would be easy anyways. But like on the weekends, I can charge any time. Well, I can charge any time. It's just I have a deal with the energy company, and I get $10 a month, which isn't much if I charge from 11 p to 6 a Monday through Friday.
Okay.
But on the weekends, it knows like when I plug in, like if I'm Ubering and I come home in the afternoon, it just starts charging because it knows it's not the weekend. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, that's pretty awesome.
I would really recommend an EV. I know everyone's like, the range. If you're somebody that doesn't take a lot of trips, get one. You're never going to fucking, and I have a regular gas car in my family. I mean, obviously if you plan on taking any trips and you only have an electric car, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. You'll get it done. You'll be able to go and you'll be able to find chargers, but it's
just take a little longer.
It's going to take a little longer. Gas is definitely more convenient when you're talking a trip over like 150, 200 miles. So, but yeah, there's definitely some drawbacks to it, but they're coming out with new EVs in the next 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're going to improve the battery situation. I mean, especially as hard as they're pushing everybody to get EVs, they know it's not going to work with the current, range. There's so many smart people out there that figure this stuff out. They'll figure some kind of new battery out that'll extend the range quite a bit, I'm sure.
There's a rumor that either Toyota or Honda is going to come out with a sedan that has 750 mile range.
Wow. I mean, see, I'm on that.
I mean, you could fucking drive to Michigan on that thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm flying next time.
Yeah. We've already established that.
Forget that.
For the hassle and all that, you can spend $200 on a flight.
Yeah. And you don't get hit. You don't get pile up.
Yeah. My gosh. But. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the show. I appreciate everyone that's chimed in and liked the post and everything. Thank you, Larry, for coming on the show. I'm currently had to turn my furnace off because I'm getting really hot. It already gets hot in the studio because the door gets closed and the lights are on.
Put these Santa hats on, though, man. These Santa hats,
brutal.
They start warming up. But we want to be festive, and we're in the spirit. And wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. And
happy whatever you celebrate.
Whatever you celebrate, may it be happy.
Yeah. So we will be back sometime in January. I don't know the exact date. Larry, if you were a fan, you're a fan of the show. But you're a different kind of fan because you know me really well too. But like, what do you need content in that 2-week break, or you're just like, it's good. Like, I'll just listen to something else.
I think you're good for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Everybody understands. It's not it's like any other job. You take a break, you take a vacation.
Yeah.
You go.
Yeah.
If you feel like putting something up there, fine. But if you don't, it's fine too.
What if I just record solo stuff? How boring would that be? Like, I just rambling. I'll probably end up saying something that'll get me canceled or something. I don't know. I doubt that.
I mean, that could happen.
That can happen to any of us in this climate. So.
At any time.
Yeah.
Boom, you're canceled.
Right. All right. Janet, thank you so much. Have a Merry Christmas and have a
Merry Christmas, Janet.
Holiday and all that stuff. And don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we will see you on the road.
Good night.
Good night.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.